took out time from your schedule and have joined us in this webinar. We'll be starting the session in another 5 minutes, but before that, would request you all to please go through the ground rules. We request all the participants to keep their mics on mute and video off. Participants will be muted during the session. Since you all are from the teaching community, we expect that you'll be abiding by the rules. Otherwise, we'll be left with no option but to remove you from the session. We request you to please stay muted. For any queries and questions, please type it in the chat box. Or if you need any assistance, there's an option of hand raise feature on the Microsoft Teams. So you can use that option and we'll definitely reach out to you to solve the issue. We'll answer all your questions at the end of the sessions. During the sessions, whatever that comes in your mind, jot down, and at the end of the session, when our presenter finishes the presentation, she'll be happy to answer all your queries. You all know that we are in the midst of lockdown and technical glitches can happen with anyone. So we request everyone to stay calm. At the end of the session, we'll be sharing a feedback form which will help us to reach out to you for further updates. I hope that all the rules are very clear to you all. These are very simple rules, and the two basics are mics on mute and videos off. And there's another option, the hand raise feature option. If you need any assistance, you can use that option. We'll definitely reach out to you. Moving ahead, the webinars are brought to you in association with EdChat India and Teacher. And if you observe the spelling of teacher, you'll find extra R. That is for redefining education and a repository of various resources, a repository to connect with fellow educators, a repository to exchange ideas and share resources, a repository of all the details of various professional developmental activities and events, and a repository to find jobs and other opportunities. Teacher has also come up with some lucrative work from home opportunities. We request you to visit the website to know about more. On a daily basis, 20 to 30 new job postings are being done on the website so that you can have a glimpse of those jobs and apply accordingly. They are really fascinating and amazing opportunities, and you can use the time in the lockdown to earn some extra bucks. So do visit the .in. Now the clock is ticking 4, and it is time for us to introduce our today's presenter. Dear participants, humble request to please keep your mics on mute. Yeah, that's better. Thank you. And now the time to unveil today's presenter. So today we have Duhita Parmar with us. She is a science teacher with 17 years of experience and is passionate about sharing her learnings with others. She feels that teaching is in her blood. She is involved in training educators and students as she strongly believes that classroom teaching should be aligned with the changing times. She is a Microsoft Certified Educator Expert, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert Master Trainer, and Microsoft Innovative Educator Fellow. She is deeply involved in creating resource material with Microsoft tools. She is also certified from Microsoft and Apple. Some of her awards include British Council Global Teacher Accreditation Award, TERI National School Educators Award, and Global Teacher Award, to name a few. She is a very passionate educator, and she'll be taking you to, through today's session that is about how to create engaging worksheets. So we welcome you, ma'am. We are honored by your presence, and over to you, Duhita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Kaushal sir. That was so nice of you to introduce me out here. As said and done, good afternoon, everyone, all present over here. As already shared by Kaushal sir, I would humbly request, we are an audience of around 200 participants right now. I would humbly request each and every one of you to kindly stay on mute, please. Any questions, any queries, please type it in the chat window. I have with me Kaushal sir out here and Mr. Varun also, who will be having a keen eye in the chat window for all your questions and queries, which will definitely be answered towards the end of the session. So we have the time slot for that also, to answer all your queries and questions. Another thing I would request humbly is to please turn off your cameras. That also helps us to get a better bandwidth, right? So we really don't need the cameras on. To avoid any technical glitches from your end, you can please have your cameras turned off. Again, requesting for a better bandwidth. Right. So today's session, as said, is all about worksheets. Being a teacher, we all know that a worksheet is something without which we cannot stay at all in our day-to-day lives in a school. Right. Allow me to share my screen with all of you, please. Kaushal sir, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's completely visible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And should we proceed ahead or do we need to wait for a minute or so?
Uh, it's 4:05, ma'am. Let's wait 1 minute, and I think after 1 minute we'll just start with the presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Pallavi ma'am, you have raised your hand. Any concerns, Pallavi ma'am? You can type it in the chat box. Pallavi ma'am, the screen is visible. You just refresh your internet. You'll find it out that the screen is visible. So, dear participants, I will humbly request you again to please keep your mics on mute, as it will be a highly engaging session for you also to understand how you can prepare highly engaging worksheets. Ma'am, you can proceed. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kaushal sir. So yes, we request each one of you humbly to kindly stay on mute, and also you can have your cameras turned on because the moment somebody unmutes, you will find that there's an echo in my voice. So it hinders the presentation. For everyone's benefit, I would humbly request to please stay on mute. Thank you so much. Going ahead, in continuation, what I was sharing with all of you, that as teachers, ma'am, may I humbly request you to please mute yourself?
Ma'am, please mute yourself. Otherwise, yeah. Thank you.
Kaushal sir, may I request you to please mute everyone? Thank you. We really don't want that you all have chown. We appreciate that all of you have joined well within time limits, and we would not like to keep you waiting at all for the same. Thank you so much. Worksheets, the so-called worksheets, enrichment worksheets, fun sheets, assessments, some of the terminologies that we use in our day-to-day lives as a teacher within the four walls of our classrooms is something to assess our students, which enable us to go ahead and assess our students. But if I may tell you that what exactly is a worksheet? A worksheet in very simple terms, as a layman, refers to a document
Duhita ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the, as shared, the technical glitch. I'm extremely sorry for that. Coming back again, yeah. So when we talk about a classroom, So what does a classroom comprise of? A classroom comprises not only those four walls, but you have your students out there, you as a role model, the teacher is out there. So in a classroom setting, worksheets refer to loose sheets of paper binded, could be if there are more sheets of paper, they are binded together with questions or exercises for the students to complete and jot down their answers, to record their answers in a very, very simple manner. But my God, what about the reputation of worksheets in societies? In our society, the moment the term worksheet is said, it reflects something which is not good at all. For some of us, it is simply gone are the days when it was like assigning a page to your student with hardly any guidance or instructions out there, and the students are handed over these sheets of paper. They are sitting literally their heads down into the worksheet, doing it silently, and the teacher either seated at the head table or taking a simple round over there. Right. So these worksheets used to be of the practicing skills, wherein they used to check your students' practice skills or recalling the facts of the content that was taught to them, rather than teaching them something new. So let us enjoy the learning and let's see how we can improve our so-called worksheets for the betterment of our students. Now, the worksheets, they should be such that they are able to engage the students in thorough reading of the chapters when they are attempting the worksheets. It could be a fun sheet. You can name it as a fun sheet. You can name it as an enrichment worksheet also, right? But it should be such that your child, that your student has to read each and every word in the whole chapter also, which is provided to them, and think beyond that also. They should have inculcated the habit of self-evaluation among students while preparing their chapters. Right? It's not only their own evaluation, or it should not be that it is the evaluation from teacher's perspective, but the student, he or she should be able to evaluate themselves also. Equip the students to take on a channelized way to explore knowledge. So we always start from a pre and we go ahead, right? So we, whatever we have done before, we have a look at that and then we go ahead with the next day's topic. The same goes over here. The worksheets should be, the questionnaire should be easy to difficult and simple to complex. It should not be that the most difficult ones you have put in the first place and the simplest ones are at the end, or it's a mixed bag. So the level of difficulty should include, progress from simple to easy, simple to difficult, and easy to difficult also. What salient features should these worksheets have? Please remember that these worksheets, they should be covering the three domains of learning, that is cognitive, which relates to the knowledge based, psychomotor skills, and affective, that is the attitudes. So your knowledge, skills, and attitudes should be taken care of while designing the worksheet. Your topics should be divided into 4 areas. At the topmost is the engage. The engagement that your worksheet should allow the student should be at the highest. The student should not consider it just a simple sheet of paper that he has to fill up to score marks. No, he or she should be left thinking also what beyond it can be done. It provides easy questions to involve the students in the teaching process also. Explore. They should not be too simple questionnaires, not too difficult also, but the questionnaire should be such that it excites the students to look for alternatives and solutions for the same. Extend. It should be enlarging the scope and extent of the students' knowledge based in accordance with the surroundings. Real life situations. Only textual knowledge to be checked does not hold true. right? You should include the real life examples from your surroundings also in your worksheets. Elaborate. Tries to bring in a new idea on the subject's matter by asking innovative and application based questions, especially in science when we talk about. And not only in science, in mathematics, in social studies also. So the so-called real life questions or the application based questions are the need of the hour, so as to build to the so-called 21st century skills among your students who are going to face a totally new world henceforth. But what type of questions should be there in your worksheets? There are different, believe me, there are different categories of questions that you get in your worksheets. If I name literally a few of them, starting from fill in the gaps, fill in the blanks, true or false, yes, no types, matching. And even when I say true and false, it could be right, true or false, and write the correct statement
Sorry, ma'am, not able to hear you.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about the different types of worksheets, so fill in the blanks is simply wherein you have given some blanks out there, and the students are supposed to fill those one words out there, right? Another name that you can give to it is fill in the gaps, right? Then coming to true and false, which I have just shared with you, that is simply writing true and false. And have a habit, inculcate a habit among your students that they should not only be writing T for true or F for false, they should be jotting down the full true and false, just enhancing their spellings also. And you can add a dimension to the same, that they are able to write down the correct answer for the false one also. And when you are assigning marks to such type of questions, right, then you can always assign half and half mark over there for them. Give one word, name the following other few categories out here. Who am I? Match the following, right? Write short answers. There are like one-liner answers when you call it as short answers, or two or three, or the lengthy answers. Give reasons, picture-based questions, again, especially in science, wherein you have given a picture, let's say a diagram of heart you are given, and then the students are supposed to, give the answers based on the questions which are put on that diagram. So just to name a few categories of the different types of questions. But again, a thought comes. We have a list of types of questions that you can put out there. But how do we categorize them? As my five fingers are not the same, similarly, all those 20, 25, 30 students sitting in your classrooms are not same. We have those learners on the way, we have those special children, we have those who are a little midway also. So how do we categorize and create our worksheets? Definitely we have our audio visual learners also, visual learners also, who would feel rather happy if your worksheets include more of pictures. So here comes our Bloom's, age-old Bloom's taxonomy, which enables you to differentiate between different types of questions. We have both the new versions and the old version, and the pyramid starts from the bottom to the top. Let's look at each of these features one by one very quickly. We have remembering or the knowledge based questions, which are simply based on the remembering skills of your students or the knowledge of your students. So questionnaires which will always, start with define. So all the definitions that you give to your students. So if I say define photosynthesis, so there is very little scope the child has to, bring out his or her own imagination in answering the same. It is simply that a particular definition is there and he has to literally jot the same down in your worksheet also. Duplicate, list out the factors which cause soil erosion. Memorize, they are working on your recall. How much do you recollect the concepts that were taught to you by the teacher in the class? Repetition is there and reproduce and state is there. Next, we come to understanding or comprehension, whether your students are able to comprehend the questionnaires or not, right? So classify the animal kingdom, describe, discuss, explain, identify, locate, recognize, report, select the odd one out, translate or paraphrase also. So these are based on the comprehending skills of the students or the understanding, how much the child was able to understand the predefined concept that was shared by you in the classroom. Next in line, we have the applying ones, based on the applications, wherein they have to choose or demonstrate, even dramatize the so-called role plays that we keep on doing even in English, even in social sciences also. Illustrate, they have to interpret, right? Or they need to sketch or write or apply whatever you have learned out there. Analyzing or analysis. So here your role comes over here to differentiate or distinguish or making a comparison or criticizing out here. So comparing or the comparison of the differences, the similarities, differentiate, discriminate, examine, experiment, all these headers, they come under the category of analysis. Evaluation or synthesis. So if it is asked to be justified, right? Justify your answer. So let us say a camel is known as the ship of the desert. Yes or no, and justify your answer. So if you are saying that yes, camel is known as the ship of the desert, how do you justify your answer out there? How do you evaluate, right? Wherein you have to give supportive evidence out there, the reasoning, the so-called reasoning questions that we are supposed to give. Last but not the least, the creating or the evaluation. So when you are giving them to create a presentation, it could be as simple as a PowerPoint presentation, to create or design, to develop or to formulate also. So these were the few categories, criteria which you can utilize to have your students engaged in your worksheets which you create to test your different skills. Again, keep in mind that the complex level should be from easy to high. Okay, now again, if I use a term called effective worksheets, what do we mean by the so-called effective worksheets? Effective means something that, see, why do we give a worksheet to your child, to a student? I taught parts of the plant today in the class, or maybe fractions or a physical map of India. Now, how much your child was able to grasp the same? how much concepts that the child has got, how do you come to know? So definitely your purpose is to accomplish that whatever content or whatever knowledge my student has got, they should be able to reproduce it also to you, right? So an effective worksheet has more clarity and direction as compared to any other worksheet out there. As said and done, yes, the worksheet should have as much pictures possible to cater to your visual learners also. But what all contents do we find in an effective worksheet? When we are selecting or making a worksheet, bear in mind that an effective worksheet, now this holds true whether you are making a worksheet using pen and paper or a Word document also, for the matter of fact, it should be clear, right? It should not be literally literally a fuss or a mixed bag, that there is no clarity for the student what is to be done. It should be self understood. There should be no need to explain the questionnaire to your students. Clearly labels the questions or tasks with numbers or letters so that they can be easily referred to also. So let us say when we start creating a worksheet, the number one thing is your headers come, the headers and the footers, right? In your header, a predefined template should always be shared by the school, wherein you should be writing the name of the school, right? And what class, what subject, whether it's a simple fun sheet, a practice sheet, an enrichment sheet, or it is a term exam, a unit exam, anything that refers to the name of the student towards the left hand side, the marks on the right hand side, even you should specify the time limit. So ideally, when we refer to enrichment worksheets or fun sheets, it is supposed to be finished within the period time. So 35 minutes are there. Ideally, you give 20 minutes or 25 minutes, right? But if you are catering to your worksheets in the form of your examiners, then it could be from 1 hour to 2 hours to 3 hours. So time limit, maximum marks, everything should be cited out there. Next comes some guidelines out there, some necessary things that the children need to keep in mind. Attempt all the questions, or how are they supposed to be answered? It should be straightforward and fits for the purpose. See, my purpose is that today I want to test the knowledge of my students, whether they have understood like fractions or not. So I have to be, cautious that my questions should be based on the same topic. It should not be talking about the mixed fractions at all. And what is my purpose? Is it simply to gather that I have given a worksheet for 4 questionnaires, that yes, a recapitulation sort of a thing, or I am assigning marks to them? Avoid any unnecessary complications, colors or detractors, the distractions that you give out there. So when you are creating it on a Word document on a laptop, so do not have too many colors. Make it simple, black and white out there. It's appropriate to the age level and ability of the students, which I have already specified, that you should be very careful while designing your worksheets, that they should be age appropriate, plus looking at the ability of your students also. They should be created and stored on a computer if it is easy for you, so that you have a storehouse. See, as teachers, we do loads and loads of work, right? Start making a habit of creating even your worksheets and creating folders for them, subject wise, term wise, date wise, for your own reference. You are making your own resource content out there and enriching yourself. Not only yourself, you will see a drastic change, how you used to make a worksheet earlier and now what you are doing. Excellent presentation does not hold means that a little word of caution that you have used too many colors, it is literally bold, too many numbers are cited over here. No. Presentation is it's systematically done. My question number one is stated. If it has subparts, they are very clearly defined as A, B, C, D. All the marks are on the right hand side, and even as a layman who looks at it, understand what is to be done. If you have inserted any images from any of the search engines, you have put any diagrams out there, make sure they are legible, they are clear, they are neat and clean for your students to refer also. The font size should be such that it is easy to read out, not too big, not too small. It uses images for a specific purpose only and without cluttering up the worksheet. It should not be you have added 20 images in the worksheet. No problems, even if you have added 20 images for a subject like GK, if you are talking about general knowledge. But then the spacing, the size, the color should be such that it is going to be easily identifiable when photocopies are going to be taken out for the same. Right. Another thing is whenever you are searching for images, go for line diagrams, black and white line diagrams, because they literally beautify your worksheets. Not only that, but when you are going to send it for multiple copies, they are very neat and clean. The clarity is there for the student also to identify it. Does not have irrelevant graphics and borders. See, save paper, save energy. So unless you create borders, you are limiting the space of your worksheet also. Margins can be defined so that when the same worksheet is copied, meaning thereby a photocopy is taken out, right? Your worksheet questionnaire should not be cut down, neither from the top, bottom, left or right. Try to utilize good space. It should not be cluttered. It should have a descriptive title at the top and a space for the student to write their name very nicely. Even if the worksheets are such wherein they have to attempt the answers within that sheet of paper, check that there is ample space, especially for the junior students, to attempt the answers neatly, because it will ultimately save your time as a teacher also to correct them, right? The instructions have to be literally very, very clear. Do not use too much of bold or italics, anything of that. Colors, as I said, avoid too many colors out there. Your expected learning outcome should be very clear in your worksheet. What do you want to intend to do, right? And do not create too lengthy that there are 5 pages of your worksheet. You know, back to back, one page is more than enough. It should be accessible to the learners also, right? And ideally, when we talk about fun sheets, recap worksheets, enrichment worksheets, which are supposed to be done within the period time limit only, see to it that it does not take beyond 20 minutes, because have 2 to 3 minutes for the students to review their work also, and you are able to collect it also comfortably back. Easier tasks, again the same thing, easy to difficult, simple to complex. Images, if we are doing line diagrams, again to be taken up, divided into sections also if you want with a clear heading. And this we do especially in our English, in languages, wherein you have section A, section B, and you know those things are there. Too much formatting, avoid it, right? Make it as simple as possible for your students to go ahead for your worksheets. Okay, so this was literally a very, very simple thing. If we are going ahead with our worksheets that need to be created on a simple Word document, or you need a pen and paper thing also, right? I'll just pause here for 2 minutes before I go ahead and share with you how we can create online worksheets also, because I believe we would be having many teachers in our session today, in the audience, in the house, who would love to have how to go ahead with online worksheets also, right? So, Kaushal sir, do we have any questions in the chat window? Okay, the way of making these worksheets demonstration, yeah, I am Manjulata ma'am. I'm just going to show you that only now, because this was literally a simple presentation. All right, thank you so much. So I don't see any questions out here. So allow me to take you directly to online. How do we create worksheets online?
Yeah, ma'am, we are good to go.
Thank you so much. All right, so here we go ahead, and we are into this is my Microsoft Office 365 dashboard, which enables me to create worksheets online through MS Forms, right? And if you see on my platform, I have lot of worksheets out here, right? Okay, now, how do we go? I'll start literally from scratch. In an MS worksheet, we have two categories. We can create a form and you can create a quiz also. I will start with the quiz. The moment I click on quiz, so what happens is a blank page literally pops up and it asks me to, give a title to my quiz. And if I say I'll write parts of plant. Right. Now I can enter a description out here. Description very simply means that I can give some instructions out here if you need it. I can add an image over here from this box when I give. I can upload an image from my OneDrive, or I can upload from my desktop, or I can simply go to the search engine, that is Bing. So when I say parts of plant and I hit the search engine, I get loads of images, and let's say I have chosen a very simple image, that is this, and I click on add. Now this is just to beautify my worksheet, so that when my child looks at this worksheet, it does not seems to be a boring worksheet for my child. It is an attractive worksheet that the child can attempt online for my student. Okay. Till the time it taking a little time to load on, as we said in the beginning also. So just allow me, I'll just share to my other. Give me 1 minute, dear teachers. Just 1 minute. I'll just change my network. Okay. Yes, I think this is a better connectivity that I have now out here. Okay, so the image has not loaded because of the internet glitch, the technical glitch that I got out here. Let me go back and again literally start from scratch as quickly as possible. In a quiz, believe me, you can assign marks and it is going to be self, auto corrected. As teachers, you don't have to correct it manually at all. So the correction part is going to be done literally automated. I did not save it, still it is so the saving part also takes place automatically out here. And here if you see, my image is rested out here. Click on add new and I get varied different options. I can create an MCQ, I can have a text based question, I can have a rating, I can have a date also, and then I can upload a file also, I can create a section also. So ideally when you are creating a worksheet, right, your first question should always be name. And my goodness, name, right? Answer, make it a required question. Now required is that it is mandatory, it is compulsory out here. And then the next question could be class and section. For a teacher like me, yes, I would like to know the class and section. If I'm sharing the same worksheet, I'm teaching 3 sections, so I can share the same worksheet with all my 3 students. Before starting your name out here, you can always create a section out here for your students, right? Again, once the name and class and section is done, I can go ahead with a multiple choice question, right? So there are 2 parts of a plant. Okay, option 1, yes. Option 2, no. And I can also add maybe. And the moment if you see, when I'm moving my cursor, it gives me an option of bin, a comment and a tick. That is the correct answer, right? So if I say that the correct answer is yes, right, I can have marked tick over here. If you think that there are 2 options correct for your answer, you can have 2 options. Please be careful. Understand that these correct options are not visible to your students. By chance your child has ticked on no, you can always customize a message over here, try again, right? So this is like simply if he has clicked on second option and he gets a message that he needs to try again, that means the answer that he has chosen is wrong. Because there are 2 correct answers out here, make it multiple answers and I assign 1 mark to this. Add new again. I can again have a multiple choice question out here, or for a mathematics teacher, right? If I have my mathematics teacher, so let us say if I have simply put in over here 2 plus 4 is equal to what, right? So if I say 6, here I say 8, here I say 7, add another option 7, and the correct option is this. Okay, I can again, if I click on these 3 dots, that is the ellipses, I can click on maths out here and it is going to display me other different questions related to this concept also. So you don't have to create the questions out here, but it's going to display. I can add an image to my question also if I want. So if I'm adding an image over here, it's again either a video you can add or an image you can add over here, and simply when I say plants and search. So the question could be that you have to identify a particular plant. So when I add this image, I can have my question over here, and then the student is supposed to look at this question and answer the questions over here. You can shuffle up the questions also very easily over here, right? So this is something that you can do. You can add a subtitle, you can add branching. What does branching do? Branching is simply that, let us say I have 10 questions in the worksheet and I have different categories of students in my class. The first 5 questions are too easy, and I have that excellent child in my class. For him, those 5 questions are too easy. So what it does is 2 questions it does, but I include this add branching feature, and my child will not be able to see third, fourth, fifth question. He will directly go to the sixth question. So when I add this branching, it asks me, go to which question. He will write first answer, he will write second answer, he will write third answer, but I don't want that he should be doing fourth question. He will simply go to the fifth question over here. The fourth question will not be visible to that child, right? Going back over here, once you are done with your worksheet, you can always customize a theme for your worksheet. Either you can pick up the themes from here, or click on this and add. For example, I have plants written out here. So let us say I chose this and I choose this theme for my worksheet, because ultimately my students are going to attempt this worksheet online. So they should, when they open it up, it should be bright and colorful out there. So you can have a preview, you can look at the worksheet, how it looks like. So my theme, because I had chosen these flowery theme out here, this is how my worksheet is going to look like, and at the end it is going to be written submit. This is the computer view. If your students are attempting on a mobile, this is going to be the mobile view for your students, and they are going to simply scroll and submit at the end. Very important factor is the settings that you want to do. Show results automatically. Please mind it, if you are creating worksheets for your examination purpose, disable this option, right? Because the moment your child is going to do the paper, the worksheet, the result is going to be visible to that child. In an organization, it should be only people in my organization can respond. Record name, 1 response per person. Because if you do not check mark this box, then one child can attempt number of times the same worksheets. Accept responses, yes. Put a start date. So my student starts the worksheet on 22nd 5 p.m. Put a end date. The person should be able to finish the worksheet in 1 hour, so 6 p.m. is the time. Customize a thank you message, yes. Shuffle the questions, an excellent feature. You are giving the question for your examination purpose out here, so that their children do not have any scope of asking the answers from each other, keeping in mind today's scenarios under lockdown, under COVID-19. You can always have this option of shuffle the questions, but be careful. Your first 2 questions, that the name and the class and section, if you required, will also be shuffled. So create a section for those 2 details, and then the rest questions will be shuffled for each and every student. Send an email recipient to the recipient, yes, you can do it. You can even, once this is done, come to the share options. Only people in my organization copy this. You can create the link, you can copy, you can have a QR code, you can embed it also, or you can simply mail it also. Or let us say there are 2 teachers who are working on a collaborative basis and making a worksheet. Then you start working on a worksheet, hit this button, and you get a link to copy, so that you can share this and 2 teachers or 3 teachers can work on the same worksheet, giving inputs here and there. Once this is done, click on this bin and delete and remove the link from here. You can even have a link to duplicate the worksheet, right? Once everything is fine with the worksheet, you have reviewed also, copy this and share it. Allow me to show you how do you see the responses for your students when they are done. So just next to the tab of questions, we have a responses tab also. Now here the form does not have any responses. So let me go back and show you a form wherein the responses are going to be visible to you. Please remember, we are creating a quiz. In a form, you can have, in this also you can have text-based questions, and in the form you can have lengthier answers, lengthier text-based questions also over there. Okay, so let me see, I have a response over here, the same parts of a plant only. For a demo basis I had created this. So this is a worksheet and I have 2 responses visible out here. When I click on the responses, there is an Excel sheet. By default, when I click it, it is going to get downloaded with the timeline, when your student started the exam, when did they finish it, how much time did it take, the name, the email ID, and all the questions answers are given over there. And you get beautiful, believe me, beautiful responses in the form of these pie charts. This is a very, very good feature to catch hold of the misconceptions among your students. Understand that. You have taught a concept, but we hardly come to know that 2 of the students have a particular misconception. These pie charts enable you to grasp hold of those misconceptions that, okay, student C and D or C and X have this particular misconception and I need to go back and review the same over there. So when I click on more details, I can look over here. I can review the answers also for my students. So this is how I can review the answers. Here it is wrong. I have added a lengthy answer also over here. Click on back. So it is auto graded, right? I can post and share the scores also with the students and preview them also. So this is as simple as creating a worksheet using forms. If you want your lengthy answers, the reasoning types, remember, you can even create worksheet for English, give an unseen passage, have an unseen passage and make worksheets for that. So when I have a form over here, you will see the difference over here that you have choice, you have text, you have rating, date and everything, but you will not find that option of marks over here. That is the minute difference between a form and a text. If it is a 1-liner, 2-liner, 3-liner, you can have a small text box. If it is a lengthy answer, have a bigger text over here. So all my SST teachers seated out here and the science teachers who would require lengthy answers, they can go for this option that they click on long answers. Required, again, please be careful if you are making your questions required. And if your student has not attempted the answer, they will not be able to submit the answers also, right? So this was something a little about how to create online forms using MS Forms out here, right? With that, I'll again take a pause out here. And if we have any questions related to here, and when you are creating your worksheets on a Word document or as simply as using MS Forms, we can surely make them colorful, especially for a junior section. And let me be very honest, why only junior session? Why not for a seniors also over here, right? I'll just pause here for the questions over here, which I see a lot of questions over here. So allow me to,
Ma'am,
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, suppose a teacher shares her link or I share my link. That is the question that we have made with each other. Now, when the students will respond to the question that we have made, the quiz assignment, the responses will come to me if I have made, or will go to her because she assigned the quiz to her students?
The responses will be visible to that person who has created the quiz, not to that. So if you see, this is my portal, this is my Office 365 dashboard, and the responses will be rested in my form, in my portal, not on my co-teacher's portal. Yes, once you have downloaded the Excel sheet, you can share that response with your co-teacher also.
But ma'am, if suppose like I am a teacher of one section, I make a quiz and I share it with my co-teacher. Now she shares it with the students of her section. So will
Yes.
she be getting the responses, or will I be getting the responses, ma'am?
Ma'am, you will be getting the responses because you are the owner of that worksheet. Or I would request you, if that such is a scenario, as I've said, when
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are sharing the link with your co-teacher without sharing it with your students, go and click on share and collaborate, right?
Right,
Copy
ma'am.
the link, copy, both of you copy the link, but
Right.
then delete that. Please remember, delete that, otherwise your students will start making their own worksheets out there, and you will be literally struggling back to get back your own original worksheet over there,
Okay, ma'am.
right?
Ma'am,
Yes,
quite,
Anubha ma'am. Yes,
yes,
Anubha
ma'am.
ma'am.
Duhita ma'am, I want to ask, how can we assess the text questions? Like if I want to give my children text questions, in that case, how can I assess that? Because everyone will be writing different answers.
Yes, so that is a little manual part that you will have to do, and always, in the, if you are creating a quiz, Anubha ma'am, you
Yeah.
can give in the correct answer. So I always take the example of photosynthesis. Why?
Hmm.
Because when a child is going to define photosynthesis, what are the keywords that we expect?
Okay.
Right? Sunlight, water,
Yeah.
carbon dioxide, right? So
Hmm.
here definitely our teacher's role comes into play, that you literally will have to read the answers manually, and you will have to check over there. So you can
Let,
create a mixed bag sort of a thing. Yes, Ashish sir, I can see
yeah,
your
yeah,
hand raised.
I need
I'm
to place
just
it,
coming
ma'am.
to you also.
Yeah, Duhita ma'am,
Yes,
like
yes,
in
Anubhava.
today's scenario, we have like online classes. Now, nowadays, we
Yes.
cannot check it manually. So, how do we suppose to give them
Ma'am,
questions slowly?
when I use the word manually,
Hmm.
so that refers to not checking with the pen and paper. That
Yeah.
refers to that when that answers come to you in the Excel sheet, it
Hmm.
gets downloaded. You will have to read those answers and
Okay.
then assign marks to the students,
Okay.
right? Right?
Hmm.
Please, teachers, can I just go through the chat window and answer the questions? Could be that the question that you want to ask is also the same. Ashish sir, I'm just coming to your question also. Okay. Can you please provide very clearly explained? Oh, thank you so much, Neelam ma'am. Okay. The 4 E's. Scrolling down. Good presentation. Oh, thank you. Where are the questions? Thank you so much for appreciating the same. All right. I finally get to have one question by. In a laptop, we can do. What about mobile phones? Every teacher not have laptop for online teaching. How do we do in an Android phone? Yes. So when I have an, Android mobile also with me. So when you are working on an Android mobile and you are working on Office 365, so we do not have a MS Form app over there. You need to go to your office.com, sign in over there, and create the form from there, right? What about changing a pre-made presentation in real time? Anubha ma'am, may I humbly request you to please turn off your camera? Can I humbly request you, please? Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so when you are working on your presentation in real time and you really need to change. So please, when we are connected like this on Teams, you can go to your meeting options, right? And change it there and then also. Vandana ma'am would like to ask a question. Can I do this in the mobile phone also? Yes, you can. do that also for the matter of fact. How are you going to discriminate the child when you do branching? So here, Arpana ma'am, a child like me who takes a little longer time in understanding the questions, as simple as when I'm creating a mathematics worksheet and you literally started with the 4-digit number, but a poor child like me is still struggling on a 2-digit number. Right, but yes, you have an excellent student like Varun or Kaushal who are too good and way ahead of me. So the first few questions are for me, but then ideally the fourth question would be a student like for Varun or Kaushal sir or maybe for Anubha ma'am out here, right? So you are going to do the branching over there. Your Anubha ma'am will be able to do 1, 2, 3 questions. She will not be able to see fourth and fifth question, and she will jump directly to the sixth question over there. Can you let us know how to set the timing? 8, 10. So you can simply select the time over there and manually mention the time that from 8 o'clock to 8:25 you have given to them. You want to see the collaboration
Sorry
part
for
again.
interruption. Yes,
Are
please,
there?
can you show?
I'll
Because
show.
I think it does not allow us to set the timings between the same time frame, like 8:10 to 8:40. It's not allowing. And if
Okay.
I'm setting it from 8:10 to 9, so it is
Okay.
allowing.
Oh, okay. I'll just recheck it. Is maybe there are some updates or some changes that have happened. I'll just recheck it, Ashish sir. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. Where was I? Okay. Are there any chances that we can select any other option, but the response sheet shows something else? Are there any chances that we select any other options, but the response sheet shows something else? Ashish sir, what do you, correct me if I have understood the question correctly? You mean to say that I wrote flower out there
Means if I
in
I
the
have just
form?
opted option B, so is there any chances that in the response sheet the teacher will get the response as C if I have
No,
already opted B?
no,
No
no.
chances at all.
It should not. No, it should not happen. No, not
Okay,
at all.
fine.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
What is Suchi ma'am is asking, what is the limit for long answers? The limit for long answers is, as I said, I have teachers who have created English worksheets wherein they have to write the passage or the full long unseen passages given, and they are writing the answers over there, right? Okay. Okay, in text you want, how do we go for the subjective questions? By choosing the longer text option. In the mobile phone, yes. How can we access the text questions? I have just answered, Anuba ma'am. How are you going to answer the text questions? How many other questions do I have out here? Will there in the Android mobile? Okay, fine. All right. So let me go back, and because there was a question to ask how to show the share and collaborate option. So allow me to go back to my form and share my screen, and I'll show you how do we do that. I'll just go back to my portal out here. Okay, so this is my that untitled form. So you can even have your multilingual option for your forms also. Your child has not understood your questions in English, you can have it multilingual also. So the first option is for settings. If you are giving it, for example, in a school nowadays, because again of the lockdown situation, for new admissions, for new registrations, are you going to share the forms for new admissions? Then you need to choose the option of anyone with the link can respond, because this is beyond your organization that you are putting in out there, right? And when I go to my share, I have share as a template, that is get a link to duplicate, and I have share to collaborate, get a link to view and edit. When I click on this, I get this link. Again, I have a drop down box also over here, which has two options, which says users with a option of who have Office 365 work or school account can view and edit, or people in my organization only, right? So when I say people in my organization, I copy this link and I share it with someone else in my organization, my co-teacher. She also works on the same question paper. I am also working on the same question paper, right? And once your collaboration is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the access from here. You simply should be deleting this link also. It is going to ask you remove link, and then refresh your page, copy this new page link from here, create a bit.ly link. It's always advisable to create bit.ly links, because if you see this link, it is very lengthy. Create bit.ly links and then share it with your students. Now there's a question that how do we go ahead, with the questions which are lengthy. Now when I see over here a question which is lengthy, this option I have chosen for my long answer. Now the only hard work as a teacher that you will have to do out here is that it is not going to be self-evaluated. You will have to read this particular answer to get or give marks to the student, or find out where the child has gone wrong over there, right? So when you start writing in it, it is going to be the lengthy answer. Okay, coming back over here, if any questions. So Anjana ma'am has again raised her hand. Yes, Anjana ma'am, till the time I look at the chat window.
Yeah, ma'am, how children can write answers in Hindi? So you have cleared that there is a bilingual option also. They can
So
write. Yeah.
dear Anjana ma'am is a Hindi teacher, correct?
Yes, I am a
सही हूँ
Hindi
मैं?
teacher.
हाँ जी। तो हमारे जो लैंग्वेज टीचर्स होते हैं, वो
हाँ,
हमेशा उनको, इवन साइंस टीचर्स, उन्हें हमेशा प्रॉब्लम आती है, मैं संस्कृत पढ़ाती हूँ, मैं
जी।
कैसे करूँगी ये सब। और अंजना मैम ने भी सही पकड़ा, एंड आई एम हैप्पी, आई वाज वेटिंग दैट सम लैंग्वेज टीचर शुड बी आउट देयर। सो मैम आप हिंदी में बहुत अच्छे से टाइप कर सकते हैं। हमारा MS में ही हिंदी का फॉन्ट है जिसे आप इनेबल कर सकते हैं, और
Okay.
आप बिल्कुल हिंदी में वर्कशीट्स, आप कौशल से कनेक्ट में रहिएगा। मैं आपको एक सैंपल भी प्रोवाइड कर सकती हूँ, टीचर्स ने जो हिंदी में वर्कशीट्स बनाई हुई हैं बहुत अच्छे तरीके से।
Thank you, ma'am.
तो
Thank
आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। सेम फॉन्ट आपके स्टूडेंट्स भी यूज करेंगे ताकि वो हिंदी में आपको आंसर्स दे पाए।
ठीक है, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो
खुश?
Duhita ma'am, one more question.
Yes ma'am, yes ma'am.
There's like when the child is going to write the long answer over here, then is there any word limit, like, or the box will automatically, it will increase?
The box increases, ma'am, but to be very honest, I'll cross check the exact word limit and I can let you know, Anubha ma'am.
Yeah, because
Right?
ma'am, children
Because
will be having this query, ma'am.
yes,
We have to instruct them, like, if we want to give them.
because my English teachers, they have literally written lengthy answers out there, and they have till today not reported any issue in that.
Okay.
Yes.
So maybe because we are SST teachers, so we always find the long answer, like 5-marker question. I want to give.
Ma'am, me out here, a science teacher, I can very well relate to you. And Geetu ma'am, you have written a comprehension passage. I can share with you a sample English worksheet also, wherein the teacher has created worksheets for comprehension passages only, lengthy, and that too for grade 12 students. Right? Okay. Pooja Raj ma'am has raised her hand.
मैम हमारे बच्चे जो हिंदी में आंसर्स कैसे अटेम्प्ट करेंगे? हम तो हिंदी में वर्कशीट बना लेंगे।
मैम, पूजा राज मैम ने ध्यान से नहीं सुना जब मैं अंजना मैम का आंसर दे रही थी। आपके बच्चे भी
टाइपिंग नहीं जानेंगे ना
मैम, बच्चों को भी हम वही हिंदी का फॉन्ट देंगे और उनको सिंपली हिंदी टाइप करना है, वो हिंदी में ही लिखा हुआ, आप जैसे इंग्लिश में अल्फाबेट्स होते हैं, इंग्लिश में ही वो टाइप कर रहे होंगे, लेकिन वो जो रिजल्ट आएगा आपके पास वो हिंदी में आएगा आपका,
जैसे व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस वो टाइप करते हैं।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी। My own my own family does it because they are fond of writing poems in Hindi and stories in Hindi. So the keyboard is English, but they enable, वो हिंदी का उसमें enable कर देते हैं, टाइपिंग इंग्लिश में जा रही होती है लेकिन वो हिंदी में डिस्प्ले होता है सारा, तो मुश्किल नहीं है।
ऐसे हम मंगल में करते हैं ना, मंगल सॉफ्टवेयर जो है, we do like that.
मंगल में भी करते हैं, एमएस का मैम अलग है, एल से वो मैं आपको चैट विंडो में टाइप कर देती हूँ, बहुत इजी है वो भी।
Okay ma'am, please share.
Yes ma'am, definitely. Okay, I have a few other people raising their hands. I will request them. Rajini ma'am is there. Pooja ma'am has again raised her hand. Please kindly unmute yourselves one by one, please. And dear teachers, Varun sir has shared a feedback form in the chat window. We humbly request you to share your feedback, please. It means a lot as an input for all of us to better ourselves in future. We are around more than 200. We were literally crossing 250 out here. Till now also I can see 220 participants. Kindly share your feedback. It really means a lot. Okay, any other questions, please? Thank you so much, Amina ma'am. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sumita Chakravarti here, ma'am. In the chat box, it's coming. A chat in channel meeting is only available to team members. I'm not able to see the chat box, so feedback I won't be able to fill up.
So I think here I would request Kaushal sir to share with you, or I'll just put it in my presentation so that you can note it down, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Duhita ma'am, please share the feedback link again.
Sure. Ma'am, can I add a point here?
Please go ahead, Kaushal, Varun sir. Please go ahead.
Great.
I'll
So,
just
ma'am,
mute myself.
in case if you are not able to view the chat window, we have your email addresses as well. I think we have Chakrabarti ma'am's email address, so I would be directly able to reach out to her after the session as well.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have just in the end also reshared the link for the feedback. I hope it's okay, Varun sir, for all those who were able to access the chat. But as already shared with by Varun sir, so definitely in the email all the details come to you. I have Suman Chawla ma'am who has raised her hand. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. This is the same issue. Chat is not enabled for me. So.
Yeah, so humbly sorry for the inconvenience, but it could be if the chat is not enabled. How have you logged in? That also matters a lot. You need to ideally go to office.com, sign in, and then log in as a desktop app to your Teams for the access, right? But yes, I think Varun sir, do we have the email IDs of all the participants, or do we need the IDs?
See, mostly we do, ma'am. What we can also do is that I am creating a Bitly link that you can display it here for teachers who are not able to see.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll just put that Bitly link in my presentation, and so that everyone can have a look at that.
Hello, Duhita ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, what is the solution in mathematics for the long answer questions? Because we use mathematics editor and mathematics equation, but writing the long answer, So what is the solution? You sorted out the problem of Hindi. You also
You see, abracadabra and Duhita Parmar tells you.
like if we
Yeah,
even if we give the small question of integration or the
I
differentiation,
understand.
yeah, it's
I
required.
understand. I understand that, sir. So here again, I think we can go with. Okay, I'll have to come back to you for this because
Please.
they have this. We have put forward this query with the team also,
जी,
and one of the options जो उन्होंने कहा था कि use office lens, using office lens, and wherein you can literally click a pic of your form and a photograph and share it in the body of your in your presentation or somewhere or in one notebook if you are using that, right?
जी, जी.
But definitely मुझे लग रहा है ये मुझे आपको through email till the time I get and the mail that we sent across through Varun.
Even ma'am, even I tried this office lens, but this
One
problem,
use से भी ना,
yeah,
हाँ,
even preparing the question paper, like long
it
question.
becomes a little difficult in
Yes,
mathematics.
yes.
Yes, yes, it becomes a little difficult out here.
Ma'am,
I really hope that we find a solution. So dear teachers, this is the link to the feedback form. I hope my screen is visible. It's a bit.ly link, https colon bit.ly slash double two webinar feedback. So I
ma'am, we have
literally,
taken the screenshot.
oh, thank you so much for the same, please.
I can I speak?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
There is any option that in one phone.
पर्दा खोलो फोटो नहीं आ रही
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Someone else is also unmuted. Is it Rajni ma'am speaking?
Ma'am, I'm Priyanka speaking from
Okay,
Lucknow.
okay. Yes, Priyanka ma'am.
Just want to know, like, I have someone who has siblings, two sisters, and one device. Both of them have team IDs. Now, every time they have to log out, that creates confusion. Any option that we can switch over the ID?
Okay, one mobile and two IDs, right?
Yes.
Now, for the laptop, the solution is there that on two different browsers, you can log in with two different IDs for this. We are talking about Teams, correct, Priyanka ma'am? Right? So on
Duhita
the
ma'am
ma'am, just a second. Ma'am, just a
okay
second,
okay
please.
okay
Just a
okay
second, Nika ma'am. So, Priyanka ma'am, here on the laptop, if a laptop is available, we have an option wherein two IDs can be logged in at two different platforms, meaning thereby two different browsers, right? On the mobile, that is not there. You will have to sign out and sign in again for the same. But then again, MS Teams. Okay. There's lots of noise. Can I request everyone to stay on mute, please? Yeah, thank you so much. So for the mobile, they are coming up with the solution. I hope they come up and this query is solved out.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, please. There was someone else also who wanted to speak.
यस मैम I'm रजनी शर्मा मैं भी सर मैम हिंदी टीचर हूँ तो मुझे भी यही पूछना था कि हम जब क्विज बनाते हैं वहाँ पे हम मंगल से भी करते हैं बट अभी अभी आपने बताया कि दूसरा आप
हिंदी INDIC उससे आप करें तो आराम से हो जाएगा वो।
ओके ओके ठीक है और उसमें हम फॉन्ट चेंज कर सकते हैं ना?
हाँ जी।
ओके मैम थैंक यू।
वेलकम। Any other questions or questions? Yes, please. Excused.
Ma'am, I'm Neeta Monga. I'm an English teacher, and you were about to share a comprehension detailed comprehension just now.
So ma'am, what I'll do is, because I'm sharing someone else's form out here with you people, so I just need a little permission from the person, and it will be shared with you in the email also. Please do not worry at all. I'll try to share one sample of English and Hindi, so that it reaches out to all our subject teachers.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So thank you, Chandni ma'am. She has already shared in the chat window for Hindi and Sanskrit typing, and I'll copy the same link also and share it in the presentation for all the teachers who are not able to access the chat window. So that was a great help, Chandni ma'am. So this is learning in true sense, when you are out there and there are people to reach out for each and every one. I'm just sharing my presentation once again.
Duhita ma'am, when I'm typing on this link, I'm not able to type anything on this.
You are not able to?
Record my feedback. I'm not able to write my feedback. Like my cursor is not clicking when I'm clicking over here.
Varun sir, I would like you to intervene out here, please.
Excuse me, Duhita ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the chat box was disabled for me, but I could open the link for feedback. I completed all the areas, all the form, but it could not be submitted. The response could not be submitted.
Okay, so allow me. Varun sir, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
So
Ma'am,
I hope, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Would it be possible for you to refresh it, ma'am? Because we are getting submissions. We've already got over 120 submissions. So
Okay, fine.
I
So,
think there's some issue on your internet.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll do that. Sir. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, I hope you
How
get a
can I
video
type
recording,
on
but
this?
One by one, please. May I request?
Ma'am, can we have a video recording? But because there's a lot of network issues there, and I'm not able to see anything on the screen.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
I mean, it is
yes.
literally some part is audible, some is not. Sometimes the screen is visible, sometimes it is not. So it was just bits and parts we could see.
I understand that, Meenu ma'am. So as already shared time and again, Varun sir is going to share the link of the recording, the presentation, the feedback link, and some other important resources in the email that he would be sharing. All the resources would be shared with all of you for your convenience.
Hello. Hello, Duhita ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Can we type?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Am I
Yeah,
audible to you, ma'am?
you are pretty audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, ma'am. My name is Deepmala.
Yes, ma'am.
And basically, I want to ask, ma'am, like in this particular performance worksheet, can we add on with this map pointing and all? Like, especially we have to plot out certain areas and all, and that can be done in this map.
Yeah, so if you are habitual of using your class notebook, right, you can insert a map out there and you can doodle out over here. Otherwise, if you are not, then simply pick up a map, take it to your paint and doodle out over here and insert that image, upload that image from your desktop or your gallery, wherever you have stored, and put it in the worksheet for reference for your students. So I
Okay,
do it. So see, being a science teacher, I do it most of the time. So what I do is I go to a Word doc. I have my diagram over there, which I want my students to label it. And with the insert icon, I choose the text and I, draw those lines and I label it as 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, D. And then after saving it, when I create my worksheet, I upload that diagram onto the form and the questions follow for the same.
Okay.
It's easy. It's not difficult. Go ahead, try it, please.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, at the last request that whatever the link you're talking about, means this language teacher and all, please share that link to me also so that I can also make use of that, ma'am.
Definitely.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, dear teachers, if we have any other further questions or queries. Okay, so there is literally complete silence out there. So I would take it as that we do not have any further questions or queries from anyone. All right. Thank you, dear teachers. Thank you, Kaushal sir and Varun ma'am, for giving an opportunity to share my learnings with one and all. It was a great afternoon, literally going towards evening, well spent. It feels excellent when you are able to share your learnings with one and all. Still, if anyone has further questions or queries, please feel free to reach out. We'll be happy to answer the same for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh,
Thanks a lot,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much, ma'am. And if I may be able to just ask this simple question. If we need to reach out to you, we need to reach out to the teacher team now. We can't have your personal email ID or something.
So, ma'am, you can actually reach out to ma'am over her Twitter handle. The Twitter
Okay.
handle is listed here, so you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kaushal sir. So, see, it's a whole teamwork. So, yes, you can always reach out on my Twitter handle, and I have my email ID also. For the matter of fact, there's no harm. I think Varun sir and Kaushal sir would be sharing the same also with all of you. Not an issue. We are
Ma'am,
all
are
here
you
to
there on the
learn.
WhatsApp group as well, ma'am?
No, no, no. So
Okay.
the
Okay.
WhatsApp
Okay.
group
No problem. No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
is great. So,
So I hand it over you to Varun sir and Kaushal sir. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. It's been an amazing session. I would say everything was explained extremely clearly with no scope for any sort of ambiguity. And really hats off to your patience for holding for almost 1.5 hour, answering all the questions. It means a lot to all of us as teacher. Thank you so much for taking your time and sharing your wisdom with all the teacher community. It means a lot, and we hope for further set of collaboration. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Definitely, I'm always there because I have always believed in that learning should be always shared. There's no point of keeping your learnings to yourself only. So, whenever you require anything, I'm always there for you. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, happy learning to all of you out there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
ma'am.
And
Thank
don't
you so
forget
much.
Thank
to
you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Thank you
much.
so
share
much.
that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for the
Thank
wonderful
you.
session, ma'am.
Thank you again, the team, the whole team, because had it not been the initiative of Varun and
Thank
Kaushal,
you
I
so much,
think this
ma'am.
would not have been feasible.
Hello.
So I think we need to thank them also. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you to sir also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Duhita ma'am, for sharing your expertise on creating highly engaging worksheets. And this session was very engaging for us also. We literally closed the number 250 at certain point, and after a point we were not able to accommodate people. We started guessing messages on our WhatsApp that we are not able to log in, we are not able to join in. But anyhow, we'll be sharing the recordings with them. So it was a very perfect session today. Thank you so much for all the cooperation and support that you have rendered with us. It was really wonderful to have you on board. Dear teachers, you definitely share your thoughts on Twitter using the hashtags NoLockdown4Learning and engaging worksheet. You can reach out to Duhita ma'am on her Twitter handle, that's Duhita Parmar, and do tag us at Chat India and Teacher Pros. We'll be happy to listen to your experiences that you have gained from this session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Varun.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Kaushal. Thank
And
you.
do share those
Thank you, ma'am.
worksheets
I
in Instagram.
remember. Don't worry at all.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kaushal. Thank you. We would be sharing everything over the mail, teachers. So please fill the feedback form so that we can reach out to you directly, and everything would be shared. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you once again, Duhita ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Varun. Thank you. Take care, teachers. Stay safe. And once again, lots of happy learning to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
and same to you, ma'am.
Bye.
Hello.